Let's take a look at BroVFX Motion Toolkit, a macro for DaVinci Resolve that helps you quickly animate images, titles, videos, logos, and other graphic elements without building complex animations manually. The main idea behind this macro is that you don't have to open Fusion every time, build animation setups with nodes, adjust keyframes, curves, or splines. The most useful controls are already available in the control panel, so you can quickly create movement, entrances, exits, and styling directly through the macro parameters. Once you apply Motion Toolkit, the object immediately gets a ready-to-use animation. It can smoothly appear on screen and smoothly disappear. The intro and outro can be adjusted separately. For example, you can keep nice animated entrance and disable the exit animation, or do the opposite. Main tab. Let's start with the Main tab. This is where the main object controls are located. You can adjust the position using position X and Y, change the size with scale, and rotate the element using angle. Below that, you will find edge rounding and edge softness. These controls let you round the corners of the element and soften those edges. On circular images, this may not be very noticeable, but on regular rectangular objects like images or videos or some picture, you can clearly see how the edges become cleaner and smoother. The Main tab also includes additional effects that can be enabled separately: rotation effects, scale, blur, rainbow, and bright effects. They help make the appearance of the object more dynamic without manually building these effects from scratch. There is also motion blur, which adds blur to the movement. It makes fast animation feel smoother and more natural, especially when the object quickly enters or leaves the frame. Below that, you will find the Move Fast Slow control, which adjusts the speed of the movement. You can make the animation faster or slower depending on the style you need. In the Move Mode section, you can choose the type of movement: linear, straight even motion, easing, smoother motion with acceleration and deceleration, and bounce, motion with a springy bounce. The bounce mode is useful when you want to add more energy. The object doesn't just move into place, it slightly rebounds, making the animation more playful. You can also control effects in, effects out, move in and move out separately. This means you can apply effects only on the entrance, only on the exit, or enable and disable the movement itself for the intro and outro. Below that, there are direction presets. In the Start section, you can choose where the object comes from: top, bottom, left or right. In the End section, you can choose where it goes at the end. If the standard direction are not enough, there is Custom Move mode. It lets you manually set the starting and ending points of the movement using an overlay, while still avoiding the need to build a complex Fusion animation. You simply adjust the path through the ready-made macro control. Next tab is Motion. This tab contains effects that add character to the movement and make the object feel more alive. The first effect is Wiggle. It adds a subtle shaking or wobbling motion. You can adjust scale and speed, which control the strength and speed of the movement. This is useful when you don't want the object to sit perfectly still, but instead want it to feel slightly alive on screen. The next is Waves. This effect adds wave-like motion. It includes scale, contrast, and speed controls, allowing you to make the movement either very subtle or much more active. Then there is Jelly Wobble. It creates a soft, springy, jelly-like movement that works great for stickers, emojis, bright graphic inserts, and cartoon-style elements. The main control here is speed. Next is Stop Motion. This effect controls the frame-by-frame feel of the animation. Instead of perfectly smooth motion, the object moves in a more stepped way similar to stop-motion animation. You can keep the standard smoothness or reduce the number of visible frames to create a more choppy and stylized look. Below that is the rotation block. It adds rotation to the object. You can adjust angle, speed, and the rotation point using pivot X and pivot Y. This lets you rotate the object not only around its center, but also around an offset point, for example as if it were attached by one edge. All effects in the Motion tab can be combined. You can add a subtle wiggle and enable rotation and add a bit of stop motion or something, and a simple image will instantly feel much more alive. Now let's move to the Style tab. This tab focuses on the visual look of the object. The first block is Glow. It adds the glow effect and helps the element stand out from the background. Next is Drop Shadow. It includes power, angle, distance, and blur controls. You can adjust the strength of the shadow, its direction, how far it sits from the object, and how soft it is. This helps separate the elements from the background and add depth. Then comes Rays. This effect adds light rays and bright accent. You can control blend, exposure, evolution, the position through pivot X and pivot Y, plus length and soften. It helps make the image feel more dramatic and dynamic. Next is Halo Glow. A glow behind the object. It creates a halo around the element. You can adjust size, halo glow, and halo blend. There is also halo glow animation, which makes the glow less static and more alive, with movement and pulsing. The next block is Light Sweep. This is a light stick that paces across the image. It includes width, softage, and speed controls. This effect works especially well on logos, titles, buttons, and any element you want to highlight in a polished way. Below that is Pixelation. This effect adds a pixelated style. You can adjust quality and resolution to make the pixelation softer or more visible. And the final effect in the Style tab is Zoom. It controls smooth zooming in or out. The out-in parameter lets you define the zoom behavior during the entrance or exit. Combining effects. The main advantage of BroVFX Motion Toolkit is that all these effects can be quickly combined. You can take a basic movement from the main tab, add wiggle, waves, or rotation in the Motion tab, and then enhance everything with glow, shadow, rays, light sweep, pixelation, or zoom in the Style tab. For example, a title can appear from the bottom with easing, slightly bounce, intro plays with bounce, have a subtle wiggle, a soft drop shadow, and pacing light sweep. And all of this is controlled through the macro parameters, without manually building complex animation, adjusting splines, or going deep into Fusion. Okay, this Motion Toolkit is convenient macro for DaVinci Resolve that speeds up animation and graphic styling work. It helps you quickly create entrances, exits, movement, rotation, glow, shadows, rays, light sweeps, pixelation, zoom, and other effects without spending time manually setting up keyframes, curves, splines, and fusion nodes. It is especially useful for titles, images, logos, stickers, inserts, preview elements, and any graphic that need to become more lively, dynamic, and visually interesting. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.